I remember walking up the stairs of my college, and it's just like really, really long stairs. And I just found myself so tired. I just sat on the stairs. It was nighttime, it was earlier today. And I was just thinking to myself about like my art and all that, and just trying to be like a guy who makes comics and pursue art as a career in some way or fashion. And I remember just looking up into the sky and just thinking, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to even make it known, make myself even known? And it made me think to myself about like how, and so often in our lives, we're just so tired. Like, we're trying so hard, whether it's to get a car, get a house, get the career that you want. And there are days where you just honestly feel tired. Like, you just realize, what's the point of doing all these things? And why even try? Why not just throw in the towel, just doom scroll on TikTok for 40 hours? And I tell you, it's like, it's not easy. It's very difficult just doing something and really feeling no real results. But like, I encourage you to actually just keep going. I know that seems like a very simple and obvious message, but like, what I have found often true about doing anything special is that you have to be consistent, and you also have to be willing to do it when you don't feel like it, which I know is a common lesson. But like earlier today, I didn't want to go into the gym. I felt tired as well, like physically tired. And I was just like, I made the effort to go anyways. Cause I often find what pushes us to motivate us is we find the motivation not through actually being motivated, from what I've heard and what I've learned, but actually by doing the thing. Just like anything that you're tired of doing, I encourage you to remember why you started and why you care so much, why you're not just willing to just, I don't know, just play video games all day, or just bed rot. Like, why is it that you care so much? Remember the why of why you do something. Because I tell you, I remember it was some philosopher, I don't know who says, but he said, he who has a why can endure almost anything, or anything really. And I think it's so important for us to not be so discouraged, because it's like, ah, man, when we don't see the results of the things that we want to do, it is such an easy practice to generally just not care and be like, ah, why? And because I also find myself, when it comes to like relationships, right? I asked out a girl earlier this week. Well, I didn't ask her out, but I asked for her Instagram, which, W Riz, right? And I look on her Instagram, I follow her back, I do, and then I go through her post, do a little research, and I look and I find a man. Now, not just a regular man, but like clearly her boyfriend. And I just feel like in college, like everyone is, everyone's in a relationship, and I'm the only guy single, right? And it feels, I get so tired of that. I know I'm getting so off topic, but I get so tired because it's like, it feels like I'm trying so hard to want a relationship and to be in a relationship. But I think it's also important for me to understand to just keep trying. The right person will come along, be the best person I can be. And I can say for some of y'all, if you don't have a relationship, it's like, I'm not gonna try to lie to you and say, "Oh, you're guaranteed a relationship." She's waiting for you out there. But like, you have to be willing to endure. You have to be willing to just keep on putting the effort. Because there's the thing. One of my favorite quotes from Frederick Douglass, I'm heavily paraphrasing. It's like, you may not get anything for all that you work for, but you must certainly work for everything that you get. And I find that oftentimes when we get tired, we feel as though our work doesn't mean anything. But here's the thing, not doing anything is even more meaningless than trying and failing. I think it's important to understand that, and to realize, just try to keep on doing it. Just like, even if you don't feel any soul, like if it feels lifeless, you don't feel the passion, keep on doing what you're trying to do that you really care about, even when you don't feel the passion. And there's going to be days where you're going to be sick, or you can't do it because you're just not healthy. Like, gosh, I wasn't really catching up to a lot of my art this week, just because I was busy with school, I was busy with work, I was tired. But understand that it's okay. It's good of you to feel tired, and I'll tell you why. It's good for you to feel tired because it shows that you're actually doing something, that you're trying to do something. You don't feel tired of something unless you're actually putting the effort to keep on moving and really make an impact. Because otherwise, if you had no motion, if you were really doing nothing important to you or nothing special, you wouldn't feel tired. Like, I'm be honest, I don't feel tired when I like doom scroll really because I'm not doing anything of value. So understand that the tiredness is almost like a gift in a sense because you kind of learn, wait a minute, I'm actually putting effort towards something. And though I'm not getting the result that I want, I know why I'm doing this because you gotta know why you're doing it. And I know that even if I fail, it's good to at least try. So, like with this YouTube channel, I don't really try to be like super motivational. Like it's kind of motivational, but I'm generally telling you how I feel about things because I'm gonna be honest, I felt so tired today, not just physically, but mentally. Like I felt like everything in my life it doesn't feel like any of my efforts mean anything. But here's the thing, it's better to put in effort and nothing happen the way you want, or at least not the way you want immediately, than it is to just spend your whole life regretting and wishing you had did something with your life because that's not a life worth living. But anyways, y'all have a great day, okay?